Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Today, I want to talk about a serious but an unpleasant topic, and that is why Latinos continue to use the N-word. Now, if you're on social media, you've seen these videos come up about the Latinos who refuse to respect the fact that Black Americans have asked them to stop using the N-word. They're not Black. This is not a word that's been associated with Latinos. It's a word that's associated with Black Americans. And even if Black Americans do use it, that's still not an excuse for them to use it once they have been asked not to use it, since they are not Black. Anti-Blackness in Latino communities is real, and it shows. Colorism and anti-Black attitudes run deep across Latin America. Those beliefs don't vanish when people move to the United States. So when some Latinos use the N-word, it's not solidarity, and we already know it's not solidarity. It's a reflection of biases that have never been confronted and often never even acknowledged. So misreading the United States racial system doesn't make the harm disappear. Some non-Black Latinos say, we're minorities too. We're not white. No, but they tried to pass for white since way back in the 50s till white people caught up with them and told them, no, you're not white. But they've been trying to get that white label back ever since. So when they say they're not white, you can read into that. We might not be identified as white, but we certainly want to be. Some Latinos come up with, I didn't know it was offensive. But that excuse stops being valid the moment someone tells you it is offensive. Some of them come from countries where the N-word isn't used, they claim. Okay, fine. But once you've been told that it's harmful and why it's harmful, continuing to use the word is not ignorance anymore. It's disrespect. It's choosing not to care. And that is what many of them are doing. And the Black people who run around claiming these people are their friends are as much a problem as the Latinos themselves. And ego plays a part in this too. Some people simply cannot handle being told no. So they double down, they get louder, they act like being asked to stop using a slur is an attack on their identity. That's not culture. That's entitlement dressed up as pride. And I saw not very long ago some Latinos in Florida using the N-word, and a Black American very calmly and very politely asked them to stop using the word and told them that it was offensive. He was as calm and as respectful as he could be, and they just went off on him, telling him that he couldn't tell them not to use the word because they had been using the word all the time and they lived around Black people and they all used the word. That is not an excuse. The guy stuck to his guns and said, it's not an appropriate word for you to use because you're not Black. And they came on with some other excuses, but he stood his ground. And that is what Black people have to do. We have to continue to tell them, you're not of our ethnicity, you're not our friend, and even if Black people live next door to you, that does not give you license to insult 43 million Black people, or however many there are of us. And here's an uncomfortable truth. Latinos have been trying to distance themselves from Black people ever since they came into contact with us. There's a long history of immigrant groups trying to align themselves with whiteness to avoid discrimination. And in the United States, anti Blackness is the foundation of the racial hierarchy. So, yes, sometimes the N word becomes a way for certain people to signal that they are not at the bottom. It's a performance, it's a distancing tactic. It's a way of saying, I'm not them. That's why I'm calling them this racial slur, even though they've asked me not to. Not all Latinos do this, but enough of them do it for it to be a problem. And it is a problem. And one black person cannot give somebody permission to call 43 million black people the N word. So we need to shut that down as well. Just because your homeboy or somebody you grew up with told you you could use the N word, what that means is that you can call that person the N word. That doesn't mean you can call every black person you see the N word, because we don't have that understanding with you. So at the end of the day, the reasons that these Latinos are giving for using the N word don't matter. The boundary is what matters. The boundary is don't say the word. We're asking you not to say the word. Black Americans have said very clearly and repeatedly, don't use the word. Respecting that boundary isn't complicated. It's not political, it's not cultural, it's basic respect. And if someone refuses to give that, the issue isn't the word, it's them. And they are intentionally, I believe, being disrespectful. I believe they think it will help them to be more associated or assimilated into white society. And nothing is going to do that. White people have already drawn the line in the sand. They're not in, and they're not going to be in. Insulting black people is not going to help anything. But I think we should continue to let them know that we're insulted by this, and you don't have license. Nobody can give you permission to call another black person the N word. Nobody can give somebody permission to go out in public yelling the N word. And that should be our statement, and we should stick to it. And it is admirable that we want people to like us, that we open up our hearts and our minds to friendship, to embrace other people. That's understandable. That's just human nature, that you want people to like you and you want them to get along with you. But when people openly disrespect you, that is not a potential friend. That is not somebody that you're ever going to be able to ally with, because there is no respect. And what we're seeing, even with delineation, is that the more you tell people, I don't need you, I don't want you on my square, the more they want to be on it. And this is what we have to do with everybody. We have to do that with everybody. All of these people want to assimilate into white society. Now, white people have drawn the line in the sand with all of them. No matter how hard they try to assimilate with white people have closed ranks. And that's how they are. And the only people that they will even listen to is black people. But we don't value that. We don't value the fact that these people want the position that we have, because it's just really two cultures in America that dominate, and that's the white and the black culture. We know that. But we want to spread our wings out to other people, and those people don't necessarily want to be in our camp. They want to be in the camp with the white people. So we have to make it clear, we're fine over here. We're fine over here without you, without your advocacy. Because we just saw with Jasmine Crockett where she apparently pandered to the Latinos in Texas. And I know some of them did vote for her, but she didn't get enough votes to win. So it's not going to work when you pander to other people, you allow them to disrespect you. All you're doing is setting yourself up for disappointment. So I say, draw the line. Do not use the N word. You're not black, and we don't want your friendship at that cost. And that has to be the statement. And I think we all need to stick to that. Now, that's just how I feel, but let me know what you think about this. Thank you for listening. Stay warm out there and have a wonderful evening.